Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello everyone and welcome to your English class. In our lesson today, we will continue with our unit which is titled Wishful Thinking. Our lesson today is the second part from the reading lesson in your books, page 52 and 53. All you need for the lesson today is your books, page 52 and 53, a sheet of paper and a pen to take down your notes. So let's get started. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to read a text about money. Also, you will be able to use some new vocabulary and you will be able to answer some questions on the reading text. So it's a reading lesson, vocab, and also answering some questions. Let's get started with our lesson. If you look at this picture, I want you to start reading this picture. Brainstorm ideas, whatever comes to your mind, just take down your notes. What words, ideas came to your mind? Maybe you can think about money. I can think about cash. Or I can think about fun. If I have money, I will have fun. I will say rich. More money, I will be richer. It's a blessing. It's a good thing. I can spend more money. Sometimes it's a trouble, it's not a problem, and it is not a blessing, and other times it is a problem. So in here we had brainstorm ideas with regard to the idea of money. Let's get to the following in here. If we're having this saying, do you agree or disagree? A fool and his money are soon parted. Someone who's full, money are soon and very soon are going to be parted away from each other. Do you agree or you disagree? I believe it's true. If money requires someone who's having good financial decisions, who thinks wisely, not someone who's going to spree spending and wasting the money. So, yes, a fool and money are soon parted, and we're going to have all the problems that will come with the idea of richness and having more money. Okay, so let's get started in your books now, the reading lesson, page 52 and 53. I wanted to scan through the text and find the answers for these questions. Number 1, what is the title? When we're speaking about the title, you're looking for the biggest in the top, and it will be in the big font, not the little ones, the big ones. What is the title? It's actually Money, a Blessing or a Problem. You will find it on the top of page 52. How about the second? How many paragraphs do we have? You can count them. Each group of words, they are together. This is a paragraph. How many paragraphs? Count them. They are actually 6 paragraphs. So we're having 6 paragraphs. Let's try to, what do the pictures show? Both pages, 52, then 53. I can find out that there is a fancy house, a big fancy house with a swimming pool, and another picture for a fancy red convertible car. So, looks like speaking about how those people would spend their money. Also, the following page, I can see here a picture for a card and a check. So, most likely it's about the idea of spending money, a blessing or a problem, wisely or foolishly. Okay. Now, I want to, if we're saying that money, a blessing or a problem, I wanted to make guesses based on the picture, the title, the pictures and the title, and what we have taken yesterday. What do you think the main idea of the reading? It could be money, a blessing or a problem. We're going to speak about the advantages and the disadvantages of money. Winning a huge amount of cash. It could be about positive and negative stories, people who won cash prizes, and the good side, how they dealt with it in a good way, and others who dealt with it in a bad way. we're going to get to know. Let's start with the first paragraph. This time we're going to go into details within each paragraph. So you will listen and find the answers for these specific questions. Question number 1, what problems can money do? 2, what is the winner's main problem? Listen and find out about these answers. Let's listen together.
Money. A blessing or a problem? There's a great deal of truth in the saying, a fool and his money are soon parted. For some people, winning millions is the answer to their problems. But the reality is more like a nightmare for others. The money can strain relationships with family, friends, and neighbors, and can even eventually end in bankruptcy. It's often very hard for a winner to handle the pressure and all those millions.
Okay, so speaking here about how money would strain relationships, will filter relationships. People who are going to be with you before winning the cash or the amount of money are different than those people who would be your friends and part of your family after being rich. It is also the idea it can lead you to bankruptcy, which is having no money at all, from being rich to being poor. So, the question in here, what problems can money do? We're having problems like the money can strain relationships with family, friends, and neighbors. Also, it can also even eventually end in bankruptcy. So we're having two problems, the idea of straining relationships, different people within your life, as well as the idea of bankruptcy. So the opposite of being rich, you're going to be broke. How about the following? What is the winner's main problem? Everyone who won a great amount of money is having the same problem, to handle the pressure and the million. The pressure, the focus or the attention is on you because you are the winner, and the pressure as well of the idea of having too much money. I'm having millions. How can I deal or handle this amount of money? How about the second paragraph? Let's read together. While you're reading, you will find the answer for these two questions. Do most prize winners know what to do with that money? Yes or no? Then why? How would they lose their money? Let's listen together.
Most prize winners are not used to having money and making financial decisions. They are vulnerable and become easy prey to people who want to take advantage of them. Winners may lose large sums on investments they know nothing about, or they might go in with a partner who may not know how to run a business.
So, we're having here, do most prize winners know how to deal with this amount of money? Actually, no. Why? Because they are not used to having money and making financial decisions. They didn't grow up the way that they can come up with good ideas to invest and deal with this huge amount of money. So it is the pressure of these millions. 2, how would they lose their money? Eventually they're going to lose their money. But how? They would lose their money. They are vulnerable, easy to lose their money because they are easy prey to people who want to take advantage of them. Those bad people who are trying to con them. Winners may lose large sums of investments they know nothing about. Or they might go in within a partner who may not know how to run a business. So, people who are going to come into your life, everyone wants to invest with you. Not everyone knows how to deal with the money, just like you. As well as people might con you and take advantage of you. So you can't trust everyone. That is why they will lose their money. Paragraph number 3. Here we're having a story. How much did Bud win? 2. how did he spend his money? 3. How did he end up? So from the winning until ending up. Let's listen.
William Bud Post won $16.2 million. I wish it never happened. It was totally a nightmare, says Post. He tried to help his family, but things didn't work out. A brother was arrested for trying to kill him, hoping to inherit part of the money. Post went into a car business and a restaurant with his children, but the two ventures were failures. He eventually went broke, and now he lives on $450 a month in food stamps.
So, we're having this story for Bud Post. How much did he win? He won actually $16.2 million. So, he won millions, lots of millions. Then, what did he do with the money? How did he spend his money? He was a kind-hearted man. So, he tried to help his family. He is a kind-hearted man. He went into a car business and a restaurant with his children. So, he is family-oriented. But the two ventures went failure. He failed in his business with his children. However, the worst thing that happened that his brother was arrested trying to kill him. So he had two problems. He failed in his business, which is he didn't know how to deal with this amount of money, and the second one, which is straining relationships. His brother was trying to kill him so he can take the money after him, inherit the money. 3. How did he end up? The end? It happens he eventually, by the end, went broke, bankruptcy, and now he lives on $450 a month and food stamps. So he is nearly broke. He had no money, from millions into bankruptcy. Another story. Let's go to the other one, Michael Carroll. How much did Michael Carroll win? And how did he spend the money? And how did he end up? Let's listen about Michael Carroll.
For many people, sudden money can cause more than financial disaster. The most notorious case of poor use of prize money in recent times is that of Michael Carroll, who won £9.7 million, $17.1 million, at the age of 20. Michael spent almost his entire fortune in 18 months on 4 homes, a holiday villa in Spain, 2 convertible BMWs and 2 Mercedes-Benz cars, several quad bikes, and a stake in a football team. Sometimes money can make people insane, but that isn't the case with Michael Carroll. He was a nuisance before, and decided to continue being a nuisance. Michael has been in constant trouble with the law, and has paid thousands of dollars in fines for vandalism. Reports say that he is nearly broke.
So, how much did Michael Carroll win? The amount of money? He won actually £9.7 million, which equals $17.1 million. So, mostly just like Bud Post. How did he spend his money? Speaking about Post, he spent it on business, which went failure, and his family and friends. How about Carroll? He actually spent almost his entire fortune, his money, in 18 months. So spend sprees on 4 homes, holiday villas in Spain, 2 convertible BMWs, 2 Mercedes-Benz cars, also several quad bikes, and stake in football teams. Then, how did he end up? His ending? He has been in constant trouble with the law and paid thousands in fines for vandalism. He's having problems with the law. Report says that he is nearly broke. So the same ending. We're having the same ending. However, we're having in the middle, the things are different. Some people went into bad relationships with others and failure, others spending sprees and problems with the laws. How about the following? Here we're having Mr. Bradley. How much did Mr. Bradley win? And how did he spend his money? Let's listen together.
But not everyone is like Michael and Bud. Bob Bradley, an 83-year-old great-grandfather, won $6.17 million in May 2006. Besides giving a huge amount to children's charities, Mr. Bradley has spent his fortune helping to make the dreams of his family and friends come true. He has rejected flashy cars, expensive vacations, and a move to a luxury mansion in favor of handing out his jackpot to others. He said, "I haven't kept any money for myself. I can just give my family all they ever wanted. I've had my life more or less, so this win is for their benefit."
Okay, so how much did Mr. Bradley win? He won actually $6.17 million. Looks like the least amount of money. How did he spend his money? He's a kind-hearted, just like Bud Post, but he's much more like wiser than Bud Post and selfless. He said he gave a huge amount of to children's charity, giving those people who are in need, spent his fortune helping to make the dreams of his family and friends come true. So he did nothing for himself, he did it all to his friends and his family. He was selfless. Now let's go to the advice part. The last paragraph, number 6, what advice was given to big prize winners, those who won millions? What advice can we give them? Let's listen.
So if you ever win a big prize, seek an advisory team to help you make important financial decisions, and a good psychiatrist to help you keep your sanity.
So what advice was given to big prize winners? If ever you won a big amount of money, it is advisable that you seek advisory team to help you make important financial decisions. So you are not in a good situation to make financial decisions, whether you're going to invest, spend it here or spend it there. So seek advisory, seek a financial advisory. And also, a good psychiatric can help you to keep your sanity, so you are not going to spend it everywhere and you will lose your mind. Okay, so in here, let's go back to the text, and I want you to scan through to find words or vocabulary that is related to the idea of money. Any word that you believe that it is related to the idea of money. I have found these 6 vocab or these 6 words speaking about millions. Money, millions. Bankruptcy. What is bankruptcy? Bankruptcy is the idea of losing your money. Next, we're having financial. Financial related to money. Investment. If I am investing, I am making something with my money, so I will make it more and more. Then we're having broke, just like bankruptcy, however, this is an adjective, and a fortune. Your fortune is your amount, big amount of money. Okay, the following, let's try to define these words. What do we mean by when we say bankruptcy? Bankruptcy means the legal status of having no money. We're saying he bankrupted. Bankrupted has no amount of money. The bank will tell you bankruptcy, no money. Legally, no money. The second, inherit. When we're saying that Bud Post's brother was trying to kill him, so he will die, so he will inherit the money. Inherit, it is a verb that means to receive the property from someone who has died. Someone would die, then other people, his children, and those people who are behind him or her, will take their money. The following, advisory team. They are the group who can give you advice. They will give you advice. So advisory team, a group of people, they will give you advice how to spend your money, how to maybe invest it in here or in there. They're having financial experience that can help you. Next, vulnerable. Who are vulnerable? It is the idea of being easy prey, easy harm. You have no experience at all, so anyone can take an advantage of you. The other, sum, S-U-M, here amount, huge amount of money. Sanity, it is the idea of the ability to think in a normal way. We have spoken about Carol. He lost his sanity. He went crazy. Okay, let's try to use some of these words. Bankruptcy, inherited, and go broke. My friend, thousands after his father. Notice that we're having after his father. His father died, so he inherited. Because of the pandemic, we're having a problem. Many businesses are facing they have no money legally, bankruptcy. If a rich person misused his money, he might go broke. From being a rich person, being broke, just like Bud Post and Michael Carroll. Can you come up with a list of the common problems that are experienced by prize winners? You can refer to the 3 stories that we've read. What are some of the problems that you might face, anyone, a big prize winner might face? It could be the idea of bankruptcy. They will go broke. It could be the idea of straining relationships, just like Bud Post's brother when he tried to kill him to inherit the money. New people coming into your life and older people who are leaving your life. Also, spending sprees, like buying mansions, fancy cars, and making others lavish purchases. Remember Carl? When he spent and wasted his money all over, he went insane. He spent it. Spending sprees is the idea of spending money without even thinking about it. Then we're having it leads to a variety of legal problems, just like Carol. He went crazy and spent his money here and there without even thinking about it. Let's go into the idea of, in here, the discussion part in your book's page 53. I wanted to read the article again and make notes about how each person spent and lost his money. We're speaking of taking the stories one by one. For each one of them, you will come up with a fact. The fact which is how he lost his prize money, how he spent it, let's say. Then, how you would help him protect his money. After listening to the story, you're going to come up with your own advice. What advice would you give them so it will help? Speaking about Bud Post, what did he do? He tried to help his family, but things didn't work out. He failed to invest his money in different businesses. So he tried to invest, however he failed. What can we do? What advice can we tell him? You can refer to the very last paragraph for advice. Or you can come up with anything from your mind. We can say that he tried to help other family but didn't work out and trying other businesses. We can say seeking advisory team. It would be a good idea. How about Michael Carroll? How did he spend his money? He spent his fortune in 18 months, spending sprees. He bought things like a Mercedes, a villa in Spain. He was in trouble with the law and paid fines. So this is the idea of wasting the money. What advice can we tell him? I would tell him to save some money and ask for financial advice, and also to go to a psychiatrist who will keep your sanity, who is going to tell you what to do, what not to do. How about the last one in here? We're having Bob Bradley, the old man. How did he spend his money? He gave money to children's charity. He didn't buy things for himself. He made the dreams of his family and friends come true. So he was selfless and thought nothing about himself. Let's give him a kind of advice. I will tell him that Divide your money into thirds or quarters. Not to forget yourself. Always spend some money on yourself. It's not a shame. Okay, what advice would you give a person who won $1 million? Let's come up with advice, dividing them into quarters, part for investment, part for yourself, part for your family and loved ones, or for charity. We can think about never forget to invest and don't go into spending sprees. Think, ask for advice, financial advice and psychological advice. There is a fun fact that was mentioned in your books that statistics shows that 70% of all big prize winners squander away their winnings within a few years. So this is common. New cashers are going to go into spending sprees. They will waste their money. So it's not a blessing at all for them. One New York woman who was lucky enough to win two times $1 million. The first time she won, the odds of winning were 1 in 5.2, and 4 years later she won 705. She won the odds of winning one among us 700,000 people. So she was lucky. However, she lost the whole amount of money, both times. For your homework, refer to your books, page 111, exercise H. This is about reading a very short text and coming up with the answers. So exercise H on page 111, read the text and find out the meanings and the answers for the questions in there. Okay, I guess that is it for the lesson today, and thank you so much for your time.